Hello dear friends, myself is Roshni Parikh and today I am going to discuss about the die, which is a most important device belongs from the thyristor family. Now in a previous section I have already discussed about the silicon controlled rectifier and the triac, which are the most important devices from the or belongs from the thyristor family, and the SCR is the most widely used belongs from the thyristor family. Now diac is also important. Now diac term is stands from the diode alternating cycles, or you can say current. Now see, first two letter of a diode, same A is comes from the first letter of a alternating and C is come from the first letter of the current, or you can say a cycle. So diac term is stands from the diode alternating current, and Di is comes from the first two letter of a diode. A is from the first letter of a alternating and C is first letter of the current. Now diac is a basically bidirectional semiconductor switch. Diac is a bidirectional semiconductor switch. Means what? Okay, it is a bidirectional semiconductor switch which is used for the AC. Means it can allows the flow of a current in both the direction. Now what is the main uses of a diac? The main uses of a diac is that it is used to trigger the triac. Mainly it is used with the combination of the triac, means with the triac for the triggering of a triac, and other uses that is in the light dimmer circuit, then heat controller, that is the other applications of a diac, and etc. So mainly we can say that it is a bidirectional switch which is mainly used to trigger the triac. Now let's see the structure of a diac. What is the structure of a diac? The structure is like that, it having a 5 layer. Here a P1, P2, N1, N2 and N3, and two terminal is carried out, and both the terminal are a main terminal. So main terminal 1 and main terminal 2. You can also say that anode 1 and anode 2 instead of writing a anode and a cathode, as it is a bidirectional device, means it can allows the flow of current in both the direction. So instead of labeling the terminal anode and cathode, both the terminals are labeled as the main terminal. Here a main terminal 1 and main terminal 2, or you can label as the anode 1 and anode 2, and it having 5 layers, which is a P1 layer, N2 layers, P2 layer, and N1 and N3. Now see here, MT1 is carried out from the P1 and N1 layer. N1 layer is diffused into the P1 layer, and N3 layer is diffused into the P2 layer, and MT2 is carried out from the, see here a metallic strip, metallic contacts are there, which is drawn by the green line. Here metallic contacts are there, metallic lead. So lead is carried out. So now let's understand the working of a diac, how it's a work. There is a no control terminal is that. See, as we know that in a SCR, and in a triac there is a gate terminal is a there, and gate terminal is a act as a control terminal. Wherever in a diac only two terminals are there, which is labeled as the main terminal, means main terminal 1 and 2. There is a no any gate terminal is there, means there is a no any control terminal is there. So diac is not a latching device. Diac is only conducts when its voltage, applied voltage is exceed the avalanche breakdown voltage. Now that will be understood by the VI characteristics of a diode. Now what is the working of a diode? The working is like that, okay, when empty one means when a main terminal 1 is made positive with respect to main terminal 2, or you can say anode 1 is make a positive with respect to anode 2. At that time what will happen? Okay, see here, here a main terminal 1 and here a main terminal 2. Now when a main terminal 1 is made positive with respect to main terminal 2, at that time what happen? Okay, your which layers are going to be activated? So see here, when a main terminal 1 is made positive with respect to main terminal 2, at that time P1 is activated. Your layer P1 is activated, as a P1 layer is gets the positive supply. So P1 it gets activated. So here P1, then N2, then P2, and here as N3 is getting a minus, so N3. So that layers are the activated P1, N2, P2 and N3. And now current starts to flow. Current starts to flow from MT1 to MT2 when, see here, P1 and 2 junction, that is the forward bias. Same way P2 and 3 junction, that is the also forward bias. But here N2 P2 junctions is a reverse bias. It is exactly like the SCR. SCR is also having a 4 layer. PN having a 3 junction, that is the label as the J1, J2 and J3. Now initially when your anode is made positive with respect to cathode, in case of a SCR, here that terminal is labeled as the main terminal 1 and main terminal 2. When a main terminal 1 is made positive with respect to main terminal 2, at that time what happened? That positive is get by the P1. So your P1 layer is activated. So P1, N2, P2 and N3 are there. So it is exactly similar to the SCR. Now here P1, N1. P1 is getting a positive. So P1, N2 junction is a forward bias. Same way P2 is also getting a positive. So it is a P2, N3 junction is also a forward bias. But N2 layer is getting a positive, so N2 P2 is a reverse bias, and due to this reverse bias junction, your diode is a still off mode. Still is in a off mode, means doesn't conduct. Now when your applied voltage, external applied voltage is exceed the breakover voltage, which exceed the breakover voltage, then what will happen? Your reverse bias junction is getting a break, means there is a breakdown, avalanche breakdown of reverse bias junction J2, and at that time your current starts to flow from MT2 to MT1. Means what is the direction of current flowing? Like this, your current starts to flow from MT1 to MT2, means direction of current flowing through MT2 to P1 to N2 to P2 to N3 to MT1 to MT2. That is the conventional direction of the current flowing when the MT1 is made positive with respect to MT2, and when the applied forward voltage is exceed the breakover voltage. At that time avalanche breakdown of the reverse bias junction J2 is occurred, and your current is flowing from MT1 to MT2 direction, and your characteristics is similarly like the characteristics of the SCR, except the gate current. Here there is a no gate here there is a no gate terminal is there, means there is a no control terminal, there is a no applications of a gate pulses are there. So your characteristics is like that, your Vi characteristics, that is like that, a V versus I, your I is plotted on the y axis and V is plotted on the your x axis. Here a minus If or here a minus forward current and minus If. Now when your MT1 is a positive with respect to MT2, at that time your current starts to flow from MT1 to MT2 when your applied forward voltage is greater than the VBO. At that time your avalanche breakdown of a reverse bias junction J2, and your diox starts to conduct from MT1 to MT2, and characteristics is lives into the first quadrant. So characteristics is exactly similar to the SCR. Okay, when your applied voltage is less than the breakover voltage, at that time very small current is flowing due to the thermally generated minorities carriers, and it is called a forward blocking mode, forward blocking state or a mode. Now when your forward voltage, applied voltage is greater than exceed the breakover voltage, at that time suddenly your avalanche breakdown of a reverse bias junction J2. So what happened? Suddenly your device getting on and current starts to flow from MT1 to MT2, and voltage is going to be dropped rapidly. So that is the characteristics of a diode when your MT1 is a positive, with respect to MT2. The characteristics lies into the first quadrant. Here a breakover voltage. Now basically the breakover voltage, value of a breakover voltage is lies between a 30 volt to 37 volt, which is lives between a 30 volt to 37 volt. At that time there is a avalanche breakdown of a reverse bias junction G2 occurred, and your device gets on and current starts to flow. So suddenly there is a transition state is there, means your device, it's a transition from the off state to on state, it is a on condition, and your current is rapidly rise and the voltage across the device is a drop down. Now same way, when now MT1 is now MT2 is a positive with respect to MT1, then what will happen? Okay, see here another mode of a operation. When another mode of operation, okay, if MT2 is made a positive, more positive with respect to MT1, at that time what happen? Okay, your P2 layer, which layers are going to be activated? So P2 is getting the positive, so here a P2, N2, P1, and here a N1 layer is going to be activated, as the N1 layer is getting the N1 layer is getting the negative of the battery. So layers are going to be activated, that is the P2, N2, P1 and N1. That are the layer which are going to be activated when MT2 is made a positive, more positive with respect to MT1. At that times these are the layer which are going to be, which will be going to be activated, P2, N2, P1 and N1. Now see here, P2 N2 junction is a forward bias. Same way here a P1 N1 junction, that is also a forward bias, but N2 P1 junction, that is still a reverse bias if applied voltage is less than the breakover voltage. Now what will happen when the applied voltage is exceed the breakover voltage? So when applied voltage means, suppose if I say here external connected negative like this, and here like this. Here externally applied voltage. So now this voltage is exceed the breakover voltage. At that time what happen, there is a avalanche breakdown of a reverse bias junction, and your current device makes on all the junctions are now a forward bias, and current starts to flow from MT2 to MT1, means direction of current flowing is getting a reverse than this mode. So what will happen, now your current is flowing from MT2 to P2, N2, P1, N1, MT1, when MT2 is a more positive with respect to MT1. Now at that time your direction of current is getting a reverse. So characteristics is exactly, functioning is like exactly similar to like this, but your characteristics is lies into the third quadrant. So our characteristics which will be lies into the third quadrant. Now when your voltage is less than the breakover voltage, at that time what happen, your device is a forward bias, but still due to the reverse bias junction of this P1 and 2 junction, your device can't allow the flow of a current. So very small amount of a current flowing due to the thermally generated minorities carriers. Now when your applied voltage, reverse applied voltage is exceed the breakover voltage, then what happen, okay, suddenly there is a avalanche breakdown of a reverse bias junction P1 and 2, and your device is a transist from the off state to on state, and suddenly starts to conduct, means it allows the flow of a current from MT2 to MT1. So your current is rapidly increases and the voltage across the device is rapidly drop down. So it is the characteristics, means it is a bidirectional device. So what happen, it allows the flow of a current in both the direction from MT1 to MT2 when the MT1 is a positive with respect to MT2, and same way it allows the flow of a current in reverse direction also when MT2 is made positive with respect to MT1. So characteristics is lies into the first quadrant as well as into the third quadrant. Here MT2 is made positive with respect to MT1. So what happened, okay, see here there is a no control terminal is there as like the triac and SCR. So it is not a latching device, it is simply like a bidirectional switch and a bidirectional switch which can be turned on by applying the forward voltage or by applying the exceed the voltage beyond the breakover voltage, and it can be turned off by reducing the voltage below the breakover voltage. So it is a bidirectional switch which is widely used to trigger the triac. Hope you understood. Thank you.